Hello, Steve Mills here, and welcome to another podcast. It's great to be back sharing with you some tried, tested, and proven ideas to grow your business, and I'm looking forward to today's podcast. Now, today I want to talk to you about what I think is one of the most important elements of marketing, and that is whether you should be doing it at all. It's all about action, as I say time and time again to my people, the people who read my podcast and my blog and my website, they attend my webinars and my workshops. It's all about action. However, that action is really all about results. It's all about return on investment. Is that marketing washing its face at least? And, is it profitable? Because that's the key to it. I get asked all the time, I'm thinking of doing this, Steve, and this could be, I'm thinking of exhibiting, I'm thinking of doing some email marketing, I'm thinking of, investing in a company to help me with search engine optimization, I'm thinking about getting a new website, and so on and so forth. And my answer to that is always, what is the return on investment, or what do you think the return on investment will be? Because that's really all that matters. Now, let me give you a simple example from my world. Now, next week I'm running a workshop on social media. It's a one-day workshop, and it costs £129 to attend. Now, on top of that, you've got the cost of getting there, which obviously it's hard to determine, depends where you're starting from, but let's say that's another £25. And you've also got the cost, if you're sending one of your team, the cost of paying them for the day. So let's say that's let's be generous and say that's another £100. So you've got sort of total costs of approximately £250. Now some people would think, well, that's a lot of money, Steve, to pay for a day's training. And the truth is that if somebody goes on that day and they go away from the day at the end of the day and go back to work and don't do anything, then that is a total and utter, complete waste of money. They've just spent £250 and it's made no difference whatsoever. Now, let's look at it a different way, that these people go back, they take action, they implement the ideas learned. Is there at least a reasonable chance that they're going to make an additional £250 per year over the next few years from attending the workshop? Well, I can tell you now, that's a total and utter no-brainer. In fact, they'll make at least several £1,000s. I would think that the return on investment from people who take action, having been to my social media training, would be somewhere in the region of, let's say 10,000 at the worst case, to maybe 50,000. I had one guy came along to my LinkedIn workshop and 18 months later closed a sale for £42 million. I've had a law firm in Reading closed £135,000 worth of business in the first 3 months following attending my workshop. Now, I tell you that not to impress you, but just to impress upon you. Would you give me £250 if I gave you £30,000? How often would you like to do that deal? If you're like me, then you know the answer, and that is all day long. I do that every minute of every day, Steve, But the problem is you don't know that that's the case. You come along to my workshop, you spend £250, you don't really know that you're going to get a return on investment. And the key is, again, it's all about taking action. If you take action, you will get a return on investment. And if you go back and think, well, that was a nice day and Steve's a nice guy, then you clearly won't. And that's really, I think, one of the keys to marketing, if you... I use the example of a seminar of mine, but if you looked at that from a point of view of, let's say, exhibiting. Exhibiting's a great example. You turn up there, you go to the exhibition, you pay anything from, £400 or £500 to maybe £40,000 or £50,000 to exhibit at a big exhibition. And if you go there and you spend the day and you think, well, this has been interesting, we've had a lot of people come by and we've got a lot of business cards, made quite a few contacts, but you don't then take action and follow up, then, you're probably not even going to win the amount of business that you could. And so, you may win a bit of business or you may win no business. I know a lot of people that go to exhibitions and come back and say, well, it was good. We met a few people, but we didn't win any business, Steve. And, when I look at their post-exhibition follow-up system, it's either doesn't exist at all and we've been busy. We've not really managed to follow those people up yet. And we're now talking 2 months later. Or, they've got a system, but it's not very good. And that's often why it doesn't work. And, think about, when you're making decisions as to whether to invest some money in marketing, always think of it from a risk point of view. What's the worst case scenario here? If this doesn't work, is it going to affect my business drastically? Now, paying £200 to come onto a workshop probably ain't going to, I hope not anyway. I hope it's not going to, massively affect your business. From a negative point of view, that is. I hope it's not going to, be the end of your business if you don't win any business. So you look at the downside first and say, well, the implications of this, if this doesn't work, it's really not the end of the world. What is therefore the upside? If there's only a little upside, going along to a breakfast meeting might not be a massive investment, but, is it really going to win you, just doing it once? Is that really going to win your business? Probably not. And so what you need to think about is, as I said, both sides of the cart, downside risk, upside leverage. Could this make you thousands, tens of thousands, or even hundreds of, even millions of pounds worth of additional income? If it can, then, that's a good thing to do. Something that's low risk, low effort, not a great deal of investment, and it's got huge potential. That's the type of marketing I like. I hope it's the type of marketing that you're going to take part in. So, all that said, that's about it for this podcast. I hope you're going to look at marketing a little bit different. I hope you're going to do an assessment in each element of your marketing. I hope you're going to think about your return on investment or your potential return on investment and weigh up, the pros and cons of this. Is this something that's going to provide you with huge leverage with little downside risk? If that's the case, then that's good marketing. That's prudent marketing. So thank you ever so much for listening, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thank you.